No, send the fuck.
From a super secret location deep within the mountains of Colorado, it's time to strap up, strap in, or strap on with your host, Shenanigans in One Shot. It's From the Ashes Radio!
What just happened there? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to it. Welcome to From the Ashes on About Face Media. We are very glad you're here. Rob, why does everything look so different? What's going on? That's right. We have something that only happens like twice a year. We have an in-studio guest. Which means I'm wearing Joe's headphones. How do we sound, ladies and gentlemen? Can you hear us okay? How do we look? That's the more important part. That's true. Michael, introduce yourself.
Here, we just pull it to you.
Sounds good.
Fancy.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing? I'm Michael Conners with Conners K9s paws.
He's almost natural.
I know. Hey, Joe, can you turn my volume in my headphones up just one little notch? I think I'm number 3, or should be number 3. There it is. There it is. You got it. God damn, that's perfect. Voice of an angel right there. Mike, how was your week?
It was good, man. I actually just got back from South Carolina for a bachelor party, and it was a good old time.
Oh, is that stuff you're allowed to talk about on air or not really?
Well, I had a groomsman get bit by a shark on land. So put that in a safety brief.
I think you just got it.
On land?
Yeah, he got bit by a shark on land. Like, thing got caught, brought on land. He went to hold it. It turned and bit him. And now he's the only genius who gets to say I survived a shark attack on land.
Is he fucked up?
I don't think they work, Joe.
No, a little bloody, but he's all good.
What the fuck? You can't, dude, you can't like get attacked by a shark and come out fine. You got to have some shit.
Well, that's why later in the week I tried to pet a gator in the middle of a golf course just to, make it an interesting.
Bro, that's my animal. Did you know that? That's my animal.
I had a feeling.
Okay, so if I'm fighting an animal, it's a fucking alligator, and it's going to happen before I die. Like everybody's like,
we can do
what
this in
animal?
Colorado. There is a place to wrestle with alligators here in Colorado.
No, I'm not going to some fucking kids Walt Disney 51st dates.
Dude,
you
can't start
Zoo Life Park. I'm going to the bayou. I'm jumping on one, and we're getting it.
I know of a guy who went there and paid to get bit for fun.
He wants to go to a Louisiana swamp.
Yes.
See one swim by, jump on its back.
Yes.
Give it a wrestling.
Yes.
I mean,
and I'm fully confident in this. Now, look, there's several animals you could bring up, and I would say, fuck no, I don't got that one. But I have this one. I got it. I got it planned out.
Would one of them be turkeys?
Fuck that turkey. That stupid motherfucker, bro. He was on one so bad today, dude.
So Sandy and I were out here working on the security system and whatnot.
Was he talking shit?
And she walked over and I'm like, look, if he starts doing the karate kicks, just back up. Just
don't fuck with that guy. He does, bro. Like, he started today. I didn't even point out to Michael, but we walked up to the gate. I was like, I really wanted to see the big ones, the big dogs. So we went out back and he started, like, he was walking back and forth in front of the coop, just sidekick in the air. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
He's in the mood. He wants to fight you.
Hey, I'm down. I'm down.
He wants to fight everybody, bro.
I'm down to get a little frisky.
Did you see our little ones?
Yeah, they're little. So they're not going to be for long.
He'll be feeding them by hand. It'll be all cute and cuddly, and you can pet them and shit. And then one day, it just turns
bro.
on
Me
you.
and that turkey were homies for like a year.
And he's
like a year and a half. All of a sudden, the last like
he's like, today
3 to 5 months, something like that. He's like, fuck you. Like, I was literally just getting eggs one day, and he used to walk with me everywhere I went. It was like my homie. Talk to me. I could pet him every once in a while, All of a sudden, he was on my shoulder, just fucking feathers going everywhere, just kicking the shit out of me. I was like, what are you doing?
You lost to the turkey, and you still want to fight a gator.
It's happened 3 times. And on the third time, he finally just picked up a fucking dog food bowl and gave him a good cracking.
That's one way to win.
I've smacked him a few times.
So, listener who sent us the images of Seth fighting with the turkey, I'm going to need you to send us the
resubmit.
images with him with an alligator and a dog food bowl. Hey, before we move on too much further, did you want to talk about what happened, who you met this week and like recognized us and was like, hey, you're on that fucking stupid ass radio show?
Oh, dude, I almost started to tell you this, and then we got sidetracked. But yeah, so I met a fucking parts store, and lo and behold, there's another 11 bang bang dingleberry, and we start bullshitting, and we're talking about veteran programs, and somehow we got on the fucking topic of the show, and he's like, wait, I think I might know you guys. And then it came out that he listens to Army WTF Moments and listens to our show and knew exactly who the fuck we were. It was kind of cool.
So if you're
Random
listening
parts
to
store.
us right now on WTF Moments, thank you, and we love you too. We really
Fuck
appreciate your
yeah.
support. You guys are great.
That was the
Ice,
first time.
talking about you, man.
I told you that was the first time I've been out where somebody like knew about the show that I didn't already know or something. For now, yeah.
For
I
now.
had my
Once we
cherry
have-
broke.
Once
Like
they find out that we have Michael.
I
Conners
told you
on
that story. I had my cherry broke with the old gym where, dude, I was like 2 states over, and I'm 1 state over. I'm in like a Hooters or some fucking fucking food place, and this guy walks in with a fucking shirt on from my gym, and I was like, hey, I don't know you, and you're wearing my fucking gym shirt. It was like the coolest moment. So it was
love
kind of like that.
All right. So, Michael, are you familiar? Did your unit have Carl's in it when you were in?
Oh, more than one.
Were you the Carl?
I was not the Carl, but I had to deal
Everybody
with
says
them.
they weren't the Carl.
Oh,
Actually,
believe
I
me,
don't know.
I did a lot of dumb stuff.
You know,
but
Joel Hunt used to brag about being the fucking Carl all the time.
Do you, Michael? You want to tell the listening audience who doesn't know what a Carl is?
oh boy, do you really?
Just give your explanation. You're good. You're free.
Oh,
This is a safe place. You're okay.
that's never a thing.
That fucking shirt
It's not
color
true either.
screams safe space.
Exactly.
The Carl is that guy who you know as that guy, the one who does the dumb shit, but also when their stuff comes out, typically is going to be a badass story later, but in that moment, that's the dude you want to beat the crap out of.
Oh,
Exactly.
dude. Yes.
So, with that being said, here's our Carl for the week. So, this comes from U.S. Army WTF Moments. Damn, we love those folks. So, it says you can't make this shit up. This is clearly a text from the staff sergeant to the rest of his squad. Somebody took a shit in the water buffalo, bumper number 17 whiskey, in the vicinity of dirt lot between RUFMA and the wash rack. Please pass this on to your soldiers. Don't drink from it, or if they did, go see the medics. I fucking love that.
Here's what happened. Some fucking bucksarn scuffed the dog shit out of some fucking E2.
Yep.
Not even E3.
100%.
Some E2 had a bad day at the range. And I mean like a 3-day range op, right? Where you stay the
at
night,
least.
lots of rounds. Just life sucks. Fucking bucksarn scuffed him fucking till he threw up. He's fucking so mad. He's going to go shit in the water buffalo that fucking bucksarn drinks out of, not thinking the other 1,000 guys got to drink out of it too. But that's what happened.
Imagine, because privates are stupid because they're privates. That's why they're stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Imagine him like, yes, Sergeant, that was me. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm not going to do anything to you. There is going to be no NJP. There's going to be no Article 15. I'm just going to let the rest of the company know that you did it. That guy ain't surviving the field problem.
Fuck no.
He's
man.
coming back in a body bag. I was thirsty for 62 hours because of you, motherfucker.
Oh, man.
That dude ain't making it out of his fart sack. One
No
night he's going
way.
to wake up and like a squad of mortar platoon is going to be standing over top of him. We got some good news and some bad news. The good news, you're not getting reduced in rank. The bad news, this is going to hurt. Rob Lilly says, Michael Conners must be royalty to be invited in there. Look, man, when you come with guard dogs, that's just all there is to it, man. I mean, yeah, once you get past security.
Did you ever do anything fucked up? Like piss in a fucking
No.
stream
Oh,
where
yes.
there's a Haji drinking right below on the lower ground? Okay.
Yep.
Or-
my favorite. So I have a PA I worked with, Eric Clage, who took pictures of all the shitters that because he was an SF medic, and he went to all the fucking shitters. Took pictures of every place he's ever taken a shit while deployed, And some of them are like just like you're describing. There's a shitter right there over top of the water. Down the stream is mom washing dishes.
Oh, yeah.
kids taking baths and whatnot.
Like,
and you're like,
what the
who
fuck?
thought that was a good plan? My chipper saved my life. What's my chipper? I don't know. Am I missing something there?
I'm gonna guess that's a dog.
Oh, I hope so.
Hmm.
Do you know? Do we all? Oh, yes. That's probably Ruck with a purpose. That's the dog he walks with. You're exactly right. You know, you're not the only one that does what you do, right?
Well, they can do it, so I don't have to do it anymore. I'm okay with that.
But nobody does it the way you do it. So,
Well, that's true because nobody's this fucking stupid.
I won't argue with that statement in the slightest,
Bro,
man.
I was thinking about it because I asked you right before we started the show, how many miles is it again? And he tells me, I'm like, bro, I remember when I was with 235, we used to do two 35-mile road marches back to back.
Yep.
That was
To the field and
fucking
back.
terrible.
It sucks.
It was awful.
How long it take you?
2 days, two days, 35 miles each.
Oh.
Two 35-mile road marches, guys, with 2, 3, 5.
Yo comprende. So I was under the impression you out to the field, back from the field.
No.
God, that's 2 in a row.
Yeah.
You got to feel like hamburger
It's
afterwards.
fucking terrible. He's doing more than that.
And you're doing it with a full load.
Yeah, I did it with the load that somebody else picked for me because I signed a contract that said that they owned my ass. He's just doing it, bro.
Was that just like loops around Hawaii, or how does that work?
We went to the Kahukus and just walked.
Fucking.
And then somehow went back through East Range and into the fucking dude. It was stupid. Stupid.
Did you do, before you signed on to do this fucking train wreck that you're about to do? What's the farthest you had gone?
Probably, well, in this event, the furthest was 105 before this year.
Mm.
Before the event in general, military wise,
Mm.
probably close to 60. And
So,
that,
I've never done more than 25. And I did not enjoy that time.
Oh, man.
So fuck all that. Especially your double 35s. Fuck that.
That was terrible.
Joe, what about you? That's the farthest you've rocked. I love that he surprised him. What? Radio show? Huh?
20-ish.
Yeah, exactly.
20-ish?
Yeah, whatever sucked. Every year he says it's the last one. That's completely
Did
true.
I hear that right?
What's that?
Did all 3 of the Army guys have a higher furthest distance than the Navy guy?
But
I just wanted to point it out.
he wasn't a fucking ground pounder, though. It wasn't his responsibility to walk
Dude,
great distances.
Everybody in the Marines is a fucking rifleman.
dude, I joined the army and I joined artillery to not walk. And
Yeah.
now
Dude,
all I do
so
is
much
fucking
smarter.
walk.
Like any combat arms that does not involve light infantry is so much smarter. It was the only, like, if I could change one thing, it was just not having to walk everywhere.
Dude, but you wouldn't be you.
You mean my
wouldn't be
compression
you.
fracture my back wouldn't be as,
We're saying the same
fucked
thing.
up and yeah. Shit.
We're saying the exact same.
So I
thing.
wouldn't have as much character.
Yeah, exactly. Look at all the character you built.
Yeah.
That fucking sucks, man. Hey, what'd you do for mama yesterday?
I got a pair of shoes.
Nice. Oh, very cool. Very. What'd you do?
I got the wife golf clubs because she wants to learn. And
Nice.
That is, she got tired of me saying you can drive the cart and while I get drunk and play, and she wanted to learn. So we got her golf clubs.
Nice.
Is Mrs. Michael, is she competitive?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Uber.
No, I think I take the cake on it in the
Okay.
battle, but there's
You
some
should get Sandy a
competition.
a set of golf clubs.
I have,
How'd that go?
as expected.
Dude, Rob's always told me how his wife's competitive, and I was like, dude, quit fucking blowing that shit out of proportion.
And then he met her.
Then I was around her once in something that had to do with who could perform better and who was writing their numbers on a board. And I was like, oh shit, I am not competitive, bro. At all. I don't
got a
give a
reality
shit.
check.
I got a
re-
professional boxer and the
the pro
jiu-jitsu
fighter's
black
not
belt's like,
competitive.
Oh god.
Nope.
we can't play a game of Clue in our house. Let's put it that way. It's that bad. And she's not a sore winner either. It's not good, dude.
You're just gonna have to find a different way to balance out those moments because clearly that's not gonna end up well in your favor.
So just like everything else, I try to play it when she's mad at
And
me,
you
when
lose?
she's irritated about something. Hey, honey, you want to go play darts? You want to go bowling? You want to go fucking hit the driving range? Whatever it is. Yeah.
So
as long as she wins,
You
she's
go the
happy.
opposite side of me. I mean, the only thing I ever learned growing up was if I said yes to her, I was off the hook.
Mm-mm.
It worked until she realized that I was doing it for that
Exactly.
reason, and now it doesn't work no more.
Exactly. And that's what. Yes. Here you go, honey.
I have nothing to say.
No.
We have a listening audience.
Exactly. And yeah, yours is just as competitive. We love you, Crystal, very much. Happy Mother's Day. You're doing great. Yep. Fuck that. I agree. I get you guys. I see you mashing buttons over there, and you're making me nervous as you mash buttons. I know you're really good at what you do, but what are you playing siren sounds? You muting me?
Your volume is low.
My volume was low. I can talk louder.
I know this guy.
I know.
We just talked about this. What's Carl? That guy.
Yeah. Well, it's very rare that. Why are you wearing knee-high socks? What are you doing?
I was in boots,
Oh.
and then I put on shorts to be comfortable down here that weren't covered in fucking bird shit and dirt. And
I like our ducks and our turkeys. They're cute. So how far are we from getting fucking like cows and whatever else we're getting?
don't know.
Piggies.
How far are you to getting your ass out here doing some work?
Why start now?
I offered
Jesus.
adding a Malinois
This
today. He
fucking-
said no.
Yeah, he seriously, like, we were talking dogs and seeing dogs, and he's like, I got a Malinois ready right now, and I was like,
Nope.
I don't. This fuckers freaked me out a little bit.
Well, I mean that's with good reason.
Yeah.
Well, and so here's the thing: is it's like normally time when we do our interview with our guest and shit, but like we don't have to do all the bring them on and all that other bullshit.
No, we
So
don't have to like introduce.
Now we're there.
We did it.
So, all right, now that we're there, and you've been on the show a bunch of times, Uncle Connor,
That's fair.
always glad to.
Let's do a reminder of the organization, what you do, how you started it, like the snapshot, real quick.
All right.
You've done it enough times. I don't need to
It's easy
I
enough.
don't need to lead you through that.
And I like that fucking hat.
Yeah. Well, I've got more coming. So.
Yeah, where's mine?
Yeah, no kidding.
What the fuck?
All right. I'll get
I
y'all
say
some
that,
hats.
but Rob doesn't have your hat from the Ashes show. So
So I am the founder of Conners K9 Paws. We're a 501c3 nonprofit that takes shelter animals and trains them to become service animals for veterans free of charge. We also do recreational therapy opportunities, veteran meetup groups, peer mentorship, mental health opportunities, and suicide prevention, which is where the Ruck March comes from.
That was a fucking serious elevator pitch right there, man. I mean,
dude, I told you had it. We didn't need to lead shit. I just get to
homeboy,
adjust and get some nicotine.
he's good at what he does. I get
Yeah.
it, man. But basically, we can just
So,
give the mic over to him and call it.
Tell me the story of the first dog and the first thing.
All right. So 2015, I got whacked a little too hard overseas and ended up at Walter Reed for 18 months. And while I was in the hospital, there was a girl who ran occupational therapy program where veterans learn to train service dogs for other veterans. Every day she'd come in my room and she'd tell me to pet the dog. And every day I'd tell her to fuck off. And about 45 days in, she told me, I'm not going to fucking leave until you pet the dog. So I pet the dog. It was the first night that I was in the hospital where I slept more than 2 hours. I woke up the next morning and I said, somebody go find me the chick with the dog. She walked in with the shit-eating grin and was like, it fucking worked, didn't it? And I said, yes, it did. So I learned how to do it through that process. And honestly, where it kind of truly started was one of the dogs that I had been working with. When I got told officially, you're being medically retired, you're being boarded out, I put a Glock to my head and the dog prevented me from being able to pull the trigger by forcing my arm down. And I still communicate with the people who have that dog to this day. And that was the moment I realized the power of the dog and said, more guys need to know this. We need to do this. And that's where it came from.
So you yourself are training them, yes?
Yes, I am doing all of the training, as well as most of the administrative stuff for the organization as well.
We
You're
know all about that.
the
We
CFO,
get that.
CCO, CEO,
Dishwasher.
Yeah, oh yeah.
janitor.
Everything from pick up the poop to present the dog in public and do things like this. It's all of it.
I'm a janitor at Jiu-Jitsu Academy.
That's how he lists himself. Yeah, a janitor.
Fucking janitor. So you didn't have any experience before with training dogs, correct?
Correct. I had none.
Did you own dogs before?
I did. I had a dog beforehand and I had, trained him up like what most people say I train my dog, and it's
Right.
he's obedient, but he's still a fucking asshole.
He sits sometimes.
Yeah, he sits when he wants to. And so now that I've learned how to do this over years of doing it, now I have dogs that are extremely obedient, can do anything from, you know, waking me up from nightmares, turning lights on and off, opening, closing the fridge. They'll go get me that beer if I want it. Anything from preventing seizure activity, alerting me to stuff. It's kind of chaotic how many different things these dogs can actually do for people now.
Can you teach my epileptic bulldog to prevent his own seizures?
No, but I could probably teach your other bulldog in order to do it for that bulldog.
Really?
Your bulldog might just need a service dog.
That's hilarious. Probably does.
That would be fucking genius if Roger got his own service
If
dog.
Ruby serviced Roger. Wait a minute.
Or wait, he could train you. You could be Ruby's fucking.
I thought
service
that's
dog.
where the joke was going to go.
That's where I was going.
And I was really proud of him for not going that way. We'll fucking train you. Put this collar on real quick. I promise the clicker is it's turned down.
It's more fun if you turn it up. I'll just tell you that.
Well, yeah, and the thing is too is because it's, you know, meant for dog necks. They don't go on our necks. They don't fit the way they're supposed to. You have to put them around the testicles, and they work a lot better.
I've heard that.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, that was not the worst area though. So we had a taser in my old platoon, and
My
that was
son
not
goes,
the
"You
worst
cheat
area.
at Uno, that's why you can't fucking
Look,
lick it."
that fucking guy, I bet you he hasn't even tased himself all over and found the good spots. The fucking armpit, bro.
Yeah.
You want to die?
That's
the
a great-
armpit.
Junior,
Dude, the
have you
taint is
tased
not the
yourself?
worst. I'll take it in the taint before I take it in the armpit. So what kind of dog was the first one?
The first one was a yellow lab. And now we primarily are using shelter rescue dogs. So it's breeds combos. You never know what's in there. We call them all Heinz 57s because it's literally everything inside of the dog that would be in the bottle. And
Has anybody flunked?
Yeah, it happens. It's rare with our program, actually, which is kind of special. I worked at big organizations, including one here in Colorado that is very, very known and has a multi-million-dollar a year budget. And they were graduating less than 30% when I was there with 7 full-time trainers. Now they do a breeding program and they're still not above 60. I graduate 89% of dogs, and I'm pulling shelter rescue dogs with trauma, but I'm actually finding that veterans connect to them better because they both feel
Yeah,
like they've
Trauma?
been thrown away.
makes perfect sense.
Trauma matches trauma, and the dogs want to work harder because they get it.
When I
Dude,
was-
isn't that fucking crazy how that works?
It's amazing because when you see it truly come to fruition, you find the dog that basically says, "You're fucked up, I'm fucked up, and we're going to do it together."
Now,
I like that.
how does that work? How does the veteran get partnered up with their dog?
And how do
does that
you
happen?
select the dog? How's all this the dog
Yeah.
picking stuff go?
So the veteran has to apply through our website. The application's on there. Basically, they go through the process. We screen the applications. We do an interview process with the veteran. I figure out what they need task-wise and what they're looking for. And then I will actually go to shelters and rescues across the state. I've gone out of state as well. And I'll do temperament assessments on dogs. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what the dog breed is. I care about what the temperament is, whether dog wants to work, whether or not they care, how they respond to things, find the right dog for the right veteran based on tasks and what they're supposed to do.
Mhm.
And then we pair them to the veteran. Now, we do it very quickly. Most organizations, it's 3-4 year wait lists.
Mhm.
I have a dog in your hands in less than 90 days in most cases because I want you to get the dog early, but I also want you to learn how to do this with us, train with us, so that you truly know how to utilize the dog when it's done, not just a 1 week, here you go, attaboy, get the fuck out my door. That doesn't do you any good.
You know, it's interesting because like I'm not a dog trainer, but I've worked a ton with dogs, different clubs and stuff like that. And they always talk about how much it's training the owner more over the dog, right? Like
100%.
we can do some stuff with the dog, but we really have to train you on how to do this.
On the
And
business side, we
I
tell
think
people
that
it's
I think you're the
90%.
only person I've ever heard when it comes to service animals where they don't talk the opposite way. Where they're like, "We're just going to give you this fully trained dog and you're good." That's what I hear from all of them.
It would, and that's how
And
most
that-
organizations work, and it's dumb because it doesn't get
It doesn't work-
You
it-
wait
that's not how
forever, and
dogs
then you
work.
don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. Here's this
And-
finished product, but if you don't know how to do anything,
How
with it,
how easily can you untrain and fuck up a dog?
ask Rob Lilly. He's over here talking about his German Shepherd.
Of all people. He trained my asshole German Shepherd.
And then Rob untrained him.
No, Rob's done good with it. But we've had veterans where we give them the dog, they go through the training process, And then I'll see it like 6 months later, a year later for recertification, and that thing's a fucking hot mess. But it's either because they don't utilize the dog and actually go out in public and keep up with it, or they just say, okay, I don't have to do anything. The dog's done. And that's not how it works.
Right.
If you stop going to the gym, you're not going to be jacked anymore. It's the same thing with the dog. If you stop training, the dog's going to basically say,
I don't know. I've heard there's some
sure
things out there.
I'm showing that that's not accurate. But
Yeah.
Hey, whatever, man. You talked about the tasks that the dog does. Do all dogs have to have a task? Like, do I need it to turn on and
Correct.
off lights for me?
So
or-
in order for a service dog to be a service dog, they have to be able to perform a minimum of one physical task action to mitigate whatever the disability is. Now that's the United States standard. Internationally, it's 3 tasks. It just depends on where you are. But just existing and being cute, that's not a fucking thing.
So I can't like just have my pet Cayman as my service animal.
No, and that's why the airlines don't let you fly with your ESA, cockatoos and ostriches and fucking snakes and all that dumb shit now.
That's got to drive you bananas.
Oh, it's horrible because when we take out the real dog and the fake ones fuck it up, you can tell real quick what's what. And it's infuriating for somebody who spends all day, every day for years doing this, because realistically, when a service dog goes through our program, I put $20,000 to $25,000 worth of training and care into that dog before the veteran touches it. When you just go on Amazon and buy your vest for $20, yeah, your dog's just going to fuck it up for everybody who actually needs a real one.
And you're an asshole. Should we be beating the shit out of those people when we see them? Like, because where they're in Walmart and their dog is fucking tearing.
I feel
the place
like
up.
that's like a misdemeanor.
So
Stolen valor.
It is actually a federal
We
misdemeanor.
are on the same page.
How did you?
That's why
I
I
almost
was
felt like
asking.
that's what you were going to.
That's where I was
Holy
going.
moly, misdemeanor
The
though.
Seth
Not
service turkey. I want a vest for that turkey.
Dude, that
So-
would not be a service. That would be pure protection. And I don't know who it's protecting. It ain't protecting me.
It is actually a misdemeanor federally to fake a service animal now. But unfortunately, it's an animal crime. So like most animal crimes, you're going to get a fine and a slap on the wrist. You can't go to jail or do anything with it.
Right.
It's kind of a
Stanford,
BS way of
nobody
doing
goes
it.
to jail.
No.
Yeah.
There's no
It's a
criminals.
whole new world. Criminals get
Did you just start to
paychecks.
sing a little bit right there? Did that just
Yeah.
happen?
you didn't know I could sing.
I
Oh,
didn't.
I have a fucking voice of seal.
In the Mountain Dew commercial?
Oh my God.
Joe laughed because he knows what I'm talking about. That's fucking awesome. So yeah, just being like is considered just being an emotional support animal for me. Is that considered a task?
No. So emotional support animal is not an actual thing. It was created in the 70s so you could basically bring a pet into an apartment that you couldn't have a pet in.
Right.
And the airlines adopted it way back when, but it's not actually a thing. Every animal is an emotional support animal in some capacity.
Right.
So ESAs have no training requirements. They have no ability to go in public. And it's important people understand that because there's also therapy animals. Those don't have public access either. They have to be invited into public access. Service animals are the only ones that truly can go anywhere public wise that is federally protected under the ADA. And that requires task work. That's why those dogs are so expensive. They take 1.5 years to train. It's in depth. It's not like you just get a dog, put a vest on it and call it fucking good, because it's not how it works. And those people
It's a good
really
friend to
should
have.
be a fucking asshole.
I did not know any of this shit. So you're good to know. This is educational. I had no idea. So good to know. Because you see those jagoffs walking around.
Oh,
fucking
it's
Walmart, and their
infuriating.
dog is tearing the place apart.
Well, and it's funny because, ironically enough, adults are the worst about it. Kids now are actually growing up in this era where they know and they don't fuck around with it. I've had kids tell mom, leave the fucking dog alone. It's working.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thanks, 6-year-old, for telling your mom off in Target. Like, now I don't have to be that guy. So it's good.
Excellent. I fucking love it. So
Yeah.
got anything interesting going on anytime soon?
Too much. So next week is the 5th annual Paws Ruck March, and it is further than ever. It is the same amount of time, but more miles. We're going to cover more distance on the state and ultimately raise some more money than we've ever done before for suicide prevention and mental health. And yes, as Rob so kindly pointed out, every year I say this is the last one. I will say it now, and this has already been recorded. My board made me put it in writing. The event will alter next year to a different format so that it will not just be me and a couple other veterans going on a very long trek. It will include more people. Physically, my body is taking a toll. I had to have 2 knee surgeries this year to be able to do this one. So,
Ooh.
yeah, it turns out when you try and avoid a homeless dude on Broadway in Denver and you step off a curb and shred your knee 8 miles into a 105-mile trek and then keep going, that's not the right answer. Now I know I should just like
Step on the homeless guy.
kick him out of the way. But it just is what it is.
Pardon me, Mr. Bum. I need to get around you.
Yeah, this year we're gonna go bigger than ever. We're gonna go a bigger party than ever. We've got parties in Castle Rock, the Springs, and back in Castle Rock for the finale. So we're actually gonna walk from Red Rocks Amphitheater all the way to Bucket List Tavern in Castle Rock in one day. It's about 43 miles. And then we will go out through Sedalia, down through Decker's Divide, all the way to Manitou Springs and have a party down there at Red Leg Brewing Company. And then we will turn around, come back up to Larkspur, and on Saturday, the 24th, we will end at 105 West Brewing.
Don't do this.
You say this every year, and every year I tell you just do it with me, and you say no.
If you just lay down on the ground and take a nap, this urge will go away. I promise.
Well,
ask me how I know.
Every year, the motivation is always, you got to raise the money. Suicide prevention is important. 22 a day is not a real number. It's closer to 40. We got to do something. So this is our way of doing something, forcing the media to talk about it and kind of realize it's still a problem. This year, we're in a great spot because 105 rebrewed Paws IPA. So we have our own beer there. And Iron Mule Brewery is currently brewing Possum Sauce, which is our own beer at Iron Mule. And that beer is actually custom designed to have no hops in it, so it's safe for your dog. Your dog's still going to get fucked up, but it's but it's safe.
Your dog will be drunk. Don't bring the Chihuahua.
Yeah,
but
Possum sauce.
Possum Sauce, man.
Which I know you love the name.
Just the fucking name, bro.
I would have it just for the name. Dude, that's fucking outstanding.
They're both great, but this one is going to be a party, and we're looking forward to turning this event into the biggest thing it's ever been. We've got amazing sponsors and
Like
people.
who?
Future Capital Management is our title again, and we've got dozens of sponsors who have kicked in this year who ultimately not only want to be like involved is like, here's our money, but also we have people meeting us at checkpoints and making us breakfast and, starting at the top of Red Rocks, Bank of America is showing up and they're taking action. They're being involved. It's not just, we support from afar. They're actually doing shit in order to make sure we're taken care of, which is great because now we've got 2 safety vehicles. We've got medical and hydration sponsors. We've got it where we're actually taken care of, where we're being a little smarter about it. And hopefully we ain't going to fucking die this year.
Has anybody died yet?
Part, yeah.
Oh God.
Well, not directly. They died afterwards, but I mean, technically they were on their own time. So they're good.
I mean, as long as I get to the finish line, it's all good at that point. But if you come out to 105, you're going to get to see a couple dogs get presented. We've got silent auction events going on at Bucket List and at Red Leg Brewing and at 105. We want to make sure that each night is full. So Wednesday night, the 21st at Bucket List, it's going to be an absolute rager in there. You are going to want to show up. They have gone above and beyond to the point where the manager said, no one's off. I don't care what you want. Everyone will be here, and we're putting in extra beer setups, and it's going to be a party. And Wednesday night is unlimited wings. So that's always party in itself.
Gonna test that,
dude.
Gonna put that to shame if I ever had a chance. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
How many miles total are you doing this year?
165 miles is the route. About 125 of that is probably the walking route, just because there are some areas where it's not safe for us to truly be on the road when it's, before sunrise on a dirt road where there's nowhere to get off. But we will be covering about 125 on foot, maybe more. Everywhere we can walk, we're going. And then if we can't, then we will alter course in those moments. It's why we have safety vehicles this year and doing it right. But the whole route is 165 miles.
Well, and you talk about not being able to walk. So didn't you walk on Colfax last year?
So Colfax was 2 years ago, and that sucked. We've done Parker Road. That sucked.
When Joe laughs.
Dude, I saw you on Parker Road, and that was sketch.
Yeah, dude.
Like, especially where I saw you. And
I jumped guardrails.
I was thinking there's all sorts of more areas where I was like picturing. I was like, that is not.
That's the big thing is the last 2 years, we've been in some pretty sketchy areas. Yeah. So this year we picked a longer route, but it's a little bit safer of a route. for the participants to make sure we're safe at the same time. We're a big proponent of, we want to serve other people and help other people and everything what they need, but we can't do that if we're fucked up.
Right.
So we got to make sure we can get to the end goal, be smart about this, and ultimately get there to be able to take
And also,
care of
it's
the
not
other
real
guys.
safe for everybody else following and helping when
Oh,
you're walking down old
absolutely.
Highway 40.
Absolutely.
You
When
know?
you jumped out of the car and we're like, I actually know this fucking guy, and you're on Parker Road coming towards me, you're running towards me. And I was like, dude, I'm jumping curves
Seth
and you're
ran?
trying to come and see me.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
It was like 15 feet, but he did it.
Look, if I
I'm proud
need to
of you.
run, I can run. And then I go get ice, but I can fucking run.
Isn't that why we carry firearms? So we don't have to do that?
Well, he's getting practice from the turkey now. So
Yeah.
Well done.
Fuck
Yeah.
So some of our listeners, like Robert Lodge, I mean, the dude has just way too much money, doesn't know what to do with it all. How can he support what you got going on this week?
So ultimately, the biggest thing we need is, obviously, when you go through and you talk about the expense of $20,000 to $25,000 per dog, it adds up quick. In the past 12 months, we've had more veterans apply than we've had finances come in.
Mhm.
And that makes it hard because I don't want veterans to ever wait.
Mhm.
So we are always looking for financial donations. And honestly, one of the things that we are kind of looking for on the side is, if somebody has property and you're close to Douglas County and you're, got an extra acre or two that you're not going to utilize, we're looking to try and eventually build an actual training facility to make this a little bit easier for the veterans and kind of create that retreat avenue where if you're out of state, you can come in state. We can get you set up. We can do all these things. I mean, prime example, when we go through, we're doing our first ever recreational therapy program this July. We're going to take a bunch of vets and go camping and get them out and do hiking and water sports and yoga and anything you can think of out there. We're looking for a sponsor for that. So we need a sponsor to cover down on that. That's $2,500 right there. There's a lot of different ways for people to be involved, whether it's financial, raising dogs, helping at events. We'll be at the DCVMF golf tournament on Wednesday this week. We'll be set up on hole 3 with a bunch of dogs and veterans who have gotten them, all the way to the point where one of our veterans who actually lives in Wisconsin decided enough is enough. I want to be involved even more than I already am. He's flying in to sit at the booth, the golf tournament, just to be there with his dog and be a part of PAWS back on the local home front. So,
Folks, Joe keeps throwing a QR code up on the screen. Listen, if you're hearing my voice, pick a veteran, someone that you know, someone that you love, sponsor that veteran. They don't not legitimately, not literally sponsor that veteran, but pick someone that you love who is a veteran, could no longer be with us, could be with us still, whatever it may be. Sponsor that veteran and make that donation in their name to PAWS. Support the community. We'd really, really appreciate it. What else do you need besides money?
Honestly, we can always use food donations for the dogs. We can always use treats and kennels and things like that. One of the big things that we're always a little short on when we go through isn't actually for the dogs. It's for the veterans themselves.
Mhm.
When we try and bring the veterans into these things where guys like us don't want to go into fucking crowds and hang out with people. That's stupid, right? We did that. That's dumb.
Mhm.
We learned it's bad. Well, now we're telling you vets, go do it. Be uncomfortable. Well, that sucks. So when we look into those different avenues, come out to an event, be just a part of it and be around the veterans and hear their stories and, kind of let them give that communication. Don't all, bombard them with questions, but hear their stories and understand the true value of what's happening here. We had a veteran 2 years ago. He literally was done. I'm not doing anything. He called me in New York and said, I'm going to take my life tonight. And I had to keep him on the phone for 4 hours. Got him a flight to Colorado. He came out. I set him up in my room. He had the dog that was mine at the time. I had just finished training for me.
Mhm.
He was upstairs with it. He came down on Saturday and said, I don't know how I'm going to leave. It was the first time I had seen him in 24 hours. He came down and I said, don't worry about it. I already took care of it. I called the airline. He left with my service dog for him. Yes, Rob, Tango will be there. And he flew back with this dog. He called me 45 days after he went home and he had a job again and he was taking the dog to work. 45 days after that, he had custody of his kids back.
This is the kind of shit I'm fucking talking about right here.
In 90
this is
days.
exactly what our community needs.
In 90 days, his life was back on track from suicide to he had his family back. He had his kids back. He had a job. That's the shit we're trying to accomplish. And we hear it all the time from spouses and kids. Thanks for giving me dad back.
You're done. You can hang it up. You have accomplished the goal. You saved one.
Well, and that's my life thing is, you know, I've always said at the end of the day, if I can look back and say one person's still here because of something I did, doesn't matter how much fucking effort and blood and sweat and tears go into it. It was worth it.
We've been trying to do it for 3 years. I mean, look at us, you know, all we do is talking to the electric rock and fucking.
But it works though. And I mean, you do this stuff and you connect with the people, and that's ultimately what matters. Sometimes people just need to hear that someone else is out there who's been through it, gets it, understands what it's like. So when we do these meetups, I don't care if you're a vet or a civilian, come out, be a part of it, because honestly, it's good for the veterans to be around people that can understand and support them and not push them, but also realize, like, talk the way you want to talk, act the way you want to talk, act the way you want to act. It doesn't matter. We don't give a fuck. Be you, be genuine. And if you're struggling with something, I guarantee you one of us has already done it. We're here. We can walk you through the process, what we did, what worked, what didn't work. And at the end of the day, if you're fucking fed up because the VA's taking too goddamn long for you, realize that there are outside resources. There are things
thousands
that exist.
of them.
We are here to fill that void because the VA system is fucking broken.
Yes,
so when you need help, don't just sit there and be like, well, they said no. Reach out to somebody else. There's thousands of resources out there. We're out here. And if you don't need a dog, you don't need what we offer. I guarantee you, I know who the fuck offers what you need, and we'll get you hooked up.
There it is, man. There it is.
Dude, that was very, 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 very fucking well said. I like that.
Now I don't have to give
And
him
you know what?
minutes to shine.
I know. And fuck his 2 minutes. He already shined.
He got it.
Quit trying to take over our show.
Allie. Are you there?
Anyways.
Look who's here.
Big Al, how the heck are you?
Good. So I love talking about service dogs.
You do? Why?
I do. Well, out here in Massachusetts, we have the NEEDS organization, World Class Service Dogs. And I was at a convention, a veteran thing, and the lady put on a demonstration and she gave me a big old sheet of all the criteria we had to meet. And I'm like, holy shit, I think my husband meets every fucking criteria. So we went through the entire process, which took almost a year. And these dogs are like $80,000 dogs, right? And we had to go through interview process.
Michael's over there nodding.
Because she's dead on. It's right.
Yeah. And when I tell you that they interviewed us, I mean, they wanted to know every aspect of our life, how often we travel, our finances, how my ex-husband like even gets up from a chair. Does he need to rely on the dog to exit the chair? What kind of car we drive, how loud our kids are our kids autistic? Are they ADHD? How big our house is our fence in? We have a support system. I mean, like every aspect of our lives came into question because when NEEDS organization places a dog in your home, that dog is it. And then every year or every 3 years, they have to recertify, and that dog is not yours for the first year. Like every 3 months, they take the dogs in and they do a weight check, and they do they have to verify that you are actually handling this dog correctly. Like it was a very long, serious. And then after a year, you graduate and the dog is like officially yours. And they're trained in the prison systems. What are you doing?
Did a
helicopter
just fly by?
Squirrel.
Everyone here has ADHD, bro. It's pretty horrible sometimes. Joe is the only thing that keeps us on track, and we stole his headphones tonight, so he's fucked.
You mean we're fucked?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think it's him.
Why is it always dogs? Where's like the service cats? Where's the service fucking, I don't know, chicken?
So
I
it's
want
not
a
a
service
thing.
pussy.
There are only two animals that can actually be a service animal.
I want a service
A
a
kangaroo.
dog and a miniature horse. That's
Correct.
it. Legally,
Yep,
those are
that's
the
it.
only two.
Yes, I'm so glad you said that. Yes, don't bring your fucking meow meow and be like, this is my service animal. The fuck it's not. Only miniature ponies.
I
and
want
dogs.
a service chicken.
That's it.
I want a service
I want
cock.
a service. Exactly. He gets it.
I want a service pussy and a service cock. Okay, I don't give a fuck about all the other
Somehow I
shit.
feel like one of you is compensating for something.
Let's ask their wives.
What task does your service chicken do? Makes me breakfast
Yeah.
and dinner eventually.
Exactly. Right. So yeah. Yeah.
All right,
so
Allie.
Heidi is my ex-husband's service dog, and she's great.
We have a regular listener named Heidi that we love and adore. So good stuff. What's going on in the world of fucking filing claims and VSO stuff this week?
So we're not gonna fucking rename Veterans Day. That's fucking stupid. I don't care.
What?
Wait,
What the fuck are you talking? They're gonna change it because it's my birthday. They're gonna change it to National One Shot Day.
Oh, that's super cool.
That would have been okay,
That had to be our friend President Trump.
right?
Yes.
Very
so
cool.
he wants to rename Veterans Day to Victory in Europe After World War II Day.
Okay.
Really?
I mean, technically, theoretically,
Maybe
that's
it's like
accurate.
World War One. Yeah. No.
I never heard that. Is that a real thing?
Where are you
Allie?
getting
Yeah,
this
what the fuck
information?
are you
I've
talking
never
about?
heard
Can't it
this.
just have two names and we all just be fine with it? It
Yeah.
doesn't fucking matter anyway.
Right.
We all just fucking say what we
We're
want
going to do
anyhow.
the same thing on November 11th. It's nothing
Right,
else.
We're
right.
gonna get fucked up.
We're all going to be recovering from November 10th. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
get Marine
So
Corps
no.
birthday.
That's right.
Joe?
That's right. November 10th is the Marine Corps birthday. November
Boys
11th.
update his Twitter. He's not even paying attention to us anymore. He's like, fuck it, it's good.
Yeah, so we're not doing that. And then I was reading, and I don't know if it's true, I'm not going to hold my breath, that Trump signed an executive order that somewhere in California, they are ordered to turn the VA into homeless veteran housing. Like,
Oh, they've been fighting that
I
LA
did read
battle.
that. I read that.
They've
Yeah.
been fighting that battle
Hold
for
on.
years. Go ahead.
What have I been saying for the last 3 years?
That I'm your favorite.
That we should just turn all fucking VAs into fucking goddamn homeless veteran housing
I agree completely.
and move the motherfuckers over to Medicare.
I agree 1,000%.
I read that they were
It's
going to do
about
that.
time
It's
he
cool.
finally started implementing what I've been saying.
But I think what his plan is to like build homes or something on a correct me if I'm wrong, Allie.
he wants to turn them into like apartments, like not sustainable, but like permanent housing, not transitional homes,
Right.
not like actual long-term. Yeah.
So homeless veterans,
Mm-hmm.
most of them, and gentlemen, please correct me, or ladies, correct me if you are homeless because of addiction problems and things like that by choice for the most part. Not necessarily. It's not like
Not
people
always.
we're missing.
Yeah, I
we
wouldn't
missed a
say
rent
it's all.
payment. Well,
The
okay,
majority of
educate me.
my homeless
Because-
veterans are due to illness.
Uh-huh.
And like one guy, I have a 72-year-old veteran who broke his hip. He went to rehab, rehabilitation, not alcohol rehab, but a rehabilitation. While he was in rehab, the landlord sold the house and now he can no longer afford rent. So he is literally homeless at 72 years old through no fault of his own. So
With
yes,
all
so
the
do we have veterans
programs
that are addiction and related? Yes, but not always.
Is there not HUD
Yeah,
bash?
I mean everything's not
That's
always,
just-
but
No, I get it. I get
So-
it.
Right.
I think I know where you're kind of going to something that I was going to say from a
Go ahead.
different
Yeah.
I
angle, but
apologize.
I was going to say, there. Have you all been to barracks before?
Once or twice, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what happens when you put a bunch of veterans in a fucking building together
I very, very much.
and they
do.
live there?
They start radio shows.
I'm just saying, there's as much as I love the community, they are a challenging community.
Correct, yes.
They need attention
Structure.
and structure and monitoring and checks and balances.
Mhm.
They have to be a little knife hand
They
or
need a platoon sergeant.
so. What I'm hoping is they think about this a little bit, and when they do this, VA hospital goes into apartments. There's also a mental health clinic on level 1 where there's therapists all over, and they.
So that's what I'm trying to do here.
Groups,
Yep,
and they
that's
can.
exactly what I'm
And
trying
they
to
also
do.
have a drug and alcohol section where they have, different types of programs going on throughout the day, and a 24-hour, suicide line or 24-hour fucking staff duty
Yeah.
for
Somebody there.
suicide watch.
That's literally
motherfuckers.
what I'm trying to bring here.
Let's have a
Yep.
barracks. They know how to operate that way. I'm just saying, let's not let them hang out there, hang loose, because
Right.
We try and reinvent the wheel as a society, and the reality is it's not that way. When we were in, we operated a certain way. Just because you got out doesn't mean your mindset changed. It still operates the same fucking way.
Yep. Allie, you're trying to do this in mass?
Yeah. So
I
we
love it.
have a nursing home. It was city run. And And it's such a sad fucking story, but the neighbors voted to just demolish this building instead of turning it into veterans home. And I had a nonprofit who came in like guns a-blazing, had the cash, had the plans, and needed a little bit of refurbishment. We could fit 90 different apartments in this home. But the uppity neighbors were like, we love veterans, just not in our neighborhood. So the council members.
Do you live in fucking Cape Cod or something, dude?
No, we don't. I mean, I'm 30 minutes from Cape Cod, but yeah, I was fucking pissed. And they filled the council chambers and was like, we want our green space and, watch the kids. And I'm like, there isn't a fucking person in this room who, like, if your kids were being like abducted, like it would be the veterans who would jump in and save the fucking day.
Yep.
You just proved the point, Allie. Realistically, when you join the military, you have a job, you have a purpose, right? Okay, so say you got to build a deck. You go to Home Depot, you buy the damn hammer, you use it for a couple of years, the handle snaps. You don't glue it back together, you throw it away. You get a new hammer. Well, you join the military, you're a hammer of the government until you snap. And we're really good of, attaboy, we'll support you while you're in, and when you're out, it's go fuck yourself. You're on your own, and we need to get better as a society. And she's proving like it's not the people that are like, I'm gonna do something. It's the people who are like, I care, but not that much.
Well, that's also like
I
one of
sat
the
at that table for
one of the things I just brought up.
and it's
Me and Rob
televised.
was just talking about is like we always feel like in the army or in the military, our sense of usefulness is only while we're useful to them.
100%.
Like when we're the broken hammer and we're thrown out to the side, like that mentality, emotionally, and in thought, like where you just lose your purpose, like you are useless, you're broken, you're useless. So what the fuck is life?
Well, that's
I feel
exactly
like that causes a lot of the hopelessness, like no purpose in life, no reasoning to be
it's
there.
the number one thing we hear is I've lost my purpose, and we just try and recreate a new purpose. It doesn't mean that your stories end. It means that the chapter ended and I just need a new purpose, new direction, set you back up for success and go again. But that is exactly what people are missing is the purpose.
Allie, I think we
hear
need to
this
run this down.
every day. I hear this every day.
Mhm.
Every fucking day. I lost my purpose. I don't know what to do. What good am I? One day I'm, kicking down doors and gagging and bagging bad guys in the middle of the night. And now I'm a stay-at-home dad. This shit is fucking real. And this is why veterans kill themselves. They lose their fucking purpose.
And no matter how hard or how well you explain and how much you in your own mind know that purpose of like raising your family and, serving in a civilian capacity at a job that kind of makes a difference. It's that feeling and that knowledge. It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Like,
And
Coach
I think
JP is so
it's not
powerful
because
with
of
his
us. That's
messages.
what we were fucking brainwashed with.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is no higher calling
Serving your nation.
than fucking being the fucking door kicking, gagging motherfucker. Like we are making the biggest differences and impacts in the world.
We're killing them over there so they don't come over here to the homeland.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Right.
Exactly right.
That's the food
Allie,
we- yeah.
One of these nights, we're going to book you for the long haul, and I want to hear more about this. We should run this down.
Oh yeah, I'm from Boston. I want to know more.
Like Boston proper or like Revere?
No, I'm from proper.
Did you hear that shit? That was a little bit of disdain right there.
Yeah,
She's a little disgusted.
there was
with you.
there was
Like,
a slight
really,
judgment
Boston?
in
Or-
that.
No,
but
there's
yeah.
a lot of fucking judgment is what there was. That's why we talked to her.
Well, to be fair, I know where she's coming from because now when people say I'm from Boston, I'm like, where?
Are you?
And
Are
when
ya?
they're like, oh, I'm from Medford, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, fucking bitch.
Yeah, that's good. No.
Did you hear his accent change, Allie?
Yeah. I know. I love it. I love it. I was like, oh yeah.
He went from Colorado to Massachusetts in a blink.
It only happens when I get pissed or I drink. So
Same. Yeah. Same. But no, it was televised and but I was, and I sat there at the table listening one by one when people went up to public input and talk about why they shouldn't convert this beautiful nursing home into veterans housing. So instead, the city councilors voted to demolish it. And this is after the city councilors came to me and was like, Allie, like, you have the votes. We're going to do this. We're going to send it out for bid. We're going to send it out for bid. And then at the fucking table, 2 counselors flipped And I'm looking at, and I'm like, you
Punch him in the
motherfuckers,
dick.
are you kidding me? And the whole time, one of them wouldn't look me in the eye. And to this day, he's very like skittish when he's talking to me. And I'm like, fuck you. And then the
As
other
he
guy,
fucking should be.
yeah, and the other guy would call me every other day. Allie, we need to get veterans. Allie, you have me, you know, I have your support, blah, blah. And I'm like, we need to get this done. We need to get this done. I was like, yeah, dude, we're going to get it done. Like, and then sitting at there in the final fucking vote, he flipped and I'm looking at him and we're in the, when the guy's sitting at the table and you can see me on camera and I'm like, wow. And we love veterans.
What do you got for the safety brief, Allie?
Don't drink and drive.
Really?
I got nothing.
That's a fucking good one. That's always the home run
especially
hitter.
right now as summer's coming.
To be fair, it is one of the most common issues. So,
Yeah.
Mike, what do you got for the safety brief?
don't pet a shark on land; you'll get bit.
I feel like he's winning right now.
Yeah.
I really feel like he's winning.
That was pretty good.
That's a pretty darn good one.
Also
I hope the
because-
guy's listening right now and he's like, "Yep."
I mean, I will say this: when it happened, he was like, "This sucks. This sucks." It didn't suck really until his wife called and found out what happened. And
Wait,
it was
this is
worse.
a true story?
Yes, yes. This
Yeah,
was
we-
last week on my bachelor party. This is a true story. He went to hold a shark. It turned around and bit him in the arm on land. And the next day we went deep sea fishing, caught another one. And we literally were like, do you want to touch it? And he's like, I'm not going near it. But he put his hand out like this, like he was going to. And I took a picture and I was like, I'm going to send this to your wife and say he's dumb enough to do it again.
What practice service was he? What did he do in the Marines?
He wasn't even military. That's the crazy part.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Should have been.
You guys have seen the video where like the guy is like fishing and he's got a shark and it fucking snapped off his pinky and he's like, oh, lost my pinky. You guys
Yeah, he just kept going. He's like, "Oh, that sucks," and he just kept going. I
No,
saw
I
that.
haven't seen that. Please feel free to
Yeah,
send
he
it. We
like
both have my phone
you
number.
hear it, and he's like, oh, there goes my pinky. I'm like, sir.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta keep going. It's just how it is.
One shot. What do you got for the fucking safety brief, bro?
Remember that 99% of people are just accidents.
I don't know about 99%.
Yeah, you're right.
8.
About 100%.
I was gonna say after meeting some of them, I'm kind of leaning to 99.
Right? That makes you want to give them some
And
grace.
they're all in front of me on the highway.
They were
Oh my god.
they were
Did you
either
ever
accidents
notice
or should have been.
the
What
faster you want to go, the slower you actually go. The faster you want to go is like the slowest people on the planet are put right in front of you.
Let's say you're late for a radio show, hypothetically, and you're driving
This
as fast as
fucking
you
guy.
possibly can.
Hey, Allie, do you think it's appropriate
Oh god.
for
Here
the
we go.
executive fucking producer to show up after everybody else? I mean, everybody else is in the studio, set up, like waiting, and we're about to go live. And that's when the producer or executive
Well,
producer
folks,
runs
it's time for the
Oh,
next
Mr. Fucking-
segment of the show. I think we've had a
But
great show
in
tonight.
his
fucking
defense,
leadership over
Thanks
here.
for
this
having
is
me
the
in here,
first
Al.
time this has happened, right? Like I've never known
Every
Rob
fucking Monday.
I gotta.
really.
A man's got to eat.
I mean-
Stripping for cheeseburgers is only going to get me so far.
I mean, I skipped dinner to get here on time, but that
Yeah,
might just
and
be
then
the
one of
army
the
motivation.
best- Why don't you guys just pack a little like snacky bags?
You know what? We used to get meals made from it for us.
We did. That was
And
awesome
then
when that used to
we
happen.
were so nice to give her some free time and some space from
Yeah,
her
we give
significant
like
other.
an hour and a half a week.
And
now,
now she quit feeding us.
I mean, look at me. I'm willing
What
to
the
wait to
fuck
nothing
happened?
over here.
I know.
I wonder what happened to her. Anyway, yeah. Well, Allie, it was good talking to you. Do you want to stick
Always
around for
good.
Never Forgotten, boss?
Yeah, I'll stick around.
All right, folks. So we've come to that part of the show. We all hate it, but it's important for it to happen. Never Forgotten. Ladies and gentlemen, on May 9th, 2003, Sergeant Richard Carl gave his life while trying to save an Iraqi child in Iraq. When you put your head down, when you say your prayers tonight, please remember the family of Sergeant Richard Carl, who gave his life for not just his nation, but for an innocent child. So, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We're done. So, support our sponsors, Thigh Huggers.
Use code ONE SHOT. You'll
Combat
get
flip
30% off. Use code ABOUTFACE.
You You also get 30% off.
Fuck yeah. And we get some extra donations to the nonprofit.
And and we get to support great nonprofits that we like Paws.
Sweet.
Mike, what do you got on the way out the door? About to turn the mic over to you, PTSD and pageants. What do you got?
Biggest thing, honestly, you ain't out there alone. Keep it in. Keep looking around. But honestly, them compact flip-flops that y'all love, I went and bought them all for the groomsmen party, and they look fucking sweet.
Aren't they cool?
They're awesome.
It's fucking nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to From the Ashes on About Face.
There
Media.
it
We
is.
sincerely appreciate you being here tonight. Please support Paws. Give them a donation. And thank you everybody for being here. Thank you WTF Moments for being us being on. Thank you Heroes Media Group. Really appreciate all of you. Have a great rest of your week, folks. And good night.